It's a King Koil Vanguard Superior Foam Encased Victorian, made in 2004. It's a good example of loose interflanging, and when deeper layers aren't glued, how they shift. And this is one that somebody started body and pressed pretty quickly, but you can see along the side here how the top panel is actually shifted over the quilt panel, and how it's not keeping shape very well. When you look at it on the inside, cut it open, you have your foam encasing around the inner spring unit, and the top flange, which I've cut away from the quilt panel right here, is attached with some staples, smaller staples, and pretty evenly spaced, not too heavy duty as far as how it's nailed down. Looking on the inside, part of the reason for the impressioning, it is a pretty basic Benel spring unit, even though this was a expensive item. No border rod used. And now this fiber layer right here, which is not a real dense fiber layer, but this fiber layer for a separator was glued down around the perimeter right there. That's attached, but then the foam placed on top of it, this big thick piece of foam, it's a bit of a harder foam, that's not glued to the layer right there. So that's not glued. Then this piece of poly foam on top of that is also not glued. So these are just loosely laying in on the inside. Quilt panel is also not glued. Inside the quilt panel, these layers are not glued. And then here's your fiber on the top right there. So body impressed a bit, but the big thing with the shifting, if you don't secure these deeper foam layers on the inside, they're just going to slide around, and eventually your bed will shift and leads to excessive impressioning.